The Eternal Forest Cup. The story of the lion, the tiger, the dog, and the wolf. Chapter 1. The Favorites. Every 4 years, the Eternal Forest came to a halt for the greatest tournament in the animal world. Among all the kingdoms, two teams stood above the rest. On one side were the Pampa Beasts led by a legendary lion named Leo and protected by a fierce tiger named Emmy. They were the reigning champions and dreamed of lifting the trophy once again. On the other side stood the United Iberians, a young and fearless team led by a talented dog named Lamin and a tireless wolf named Cuckoo, famous for running up and down the entire flank without ever slowing down. "This may be our last great chance," said Leo. The tiger roared. "Then we'll fight until the very end." Meanwhile, the Iberian coach told his squad, "It doesn't matter who's in front of us." Cuckoo asked, "What if the road becomes difficult?" The coach smiled. "Then we'll simply play better." Chapter 2. The First Doubts. Rumors began spreading from the group stage. The Pampa Beasts opened against the Northern Wolves. In the final minutes, a wolf cleanly stole the ball, but the Hyena referee blew the whistle. "Penalty! I didn't even touch him," the wolf protested. Final decision. Leo scored 1-0. Their next match was against the Nile Cats. The Cats scored what looked like a perfectly legitimate goal. The Hyenas reviewed it for several minutes, then announced, "Goal disallowed." "Why?" "An irregularity during the play." "What irregularity?" No explanation followed. The Cats left the field furious. Soon, every tavern in the forest echoed the same question. "Doesn't this seem strange?" Meanwhile, the United Iberians kept winning through the beautiful football. No controversy, only football. Chapter 3. Different Roads. In the quarterfinals, the Papa Beasts faced the Cape Penguins, who scored what seemed to be the winning goal. After a long review, "Goal disallowed." "What happened?" "Interference," from the call. The Penguins stood speechless. In the semifinals, the Alpine Foxes controlled most of the match. But after Leo went down inside the area, a hyena pointed to the spot. "Again," whispered a fox. Leo converted, and the Pampa Beasts reached the final. The United Iberians walked a very different path. In the quarterfinals, they battled the Blue Tortoises in an incredible 2-versus-2 match. Lamin scored the winning goal in extra time. "You deserve it today," said the Tortoise captain. In the semifinal, they faced the legendary goat CR7, leader of the Mountain Kingdom. The goat scored a spectacular goal, but the Iberians never abandoned their style. With patience and teamwork, they completed the comeback. Afterward, the goat embraced Lamin. "Now go and win the cup." Chapter 4. The Final. The stadium was packed. From the opening whistle, the United Iberians controlled the ball. The Pampa Beasts could barely touch it. Then the hyena pointed to the spot. "What happened?" asked Cuckoo. "The lion was fouled." "Nobody touched him." Final decision. Leo scored 1-0. Lamin danced through defenders. Cuckoo appeared on both wings, and the Pampa Beasts chased shadows. "We can't get the ball back," breathed the tiger. Leo glanced at the clock. "Just hold on." Minute 38. Another whistle. Another penalty. The entire stadium erupted. Bears, eagles, elephants, wolves, penguins, even the foxes, all shouting together. "Let them play football." Leo scored again. 2-0. Yet the scoreboard told a different story than the match itself. The Iberians dominated possession and pinned the Pampa Beasts deep in their own half. At halftime, Lamin told his coach, "We are the better team." Cuckoo smiled. "Now we just have to make the scoreboard show it." Chapter 5. The Comeback. Minute 56. Lamin dribbled past two defenders. Goal. 2-1. The Pampa Beasts could barely cross midfield. The Tiger fought to recover the ball and couldn't. Leo walked slowly. "They are completely outplaying us." Minute 72. Cuckoo stole a seemingly impossible ball, sprinted forward, and crossed. Goal. 2-2. The entire forest roared. The Pampa Beasts looked desperately toward the hyenas, hoping for another whistle. But the hyenas remained silent. Too many eyes were watching. Minute 89. The Iberians completed a breathtaking sequence of passes. Then, Lamin threaded a perfect through ball. Cuckoo appeared completely free, controlled it, looked up, and delivered a perfect cross. Goal. 3-2. The stadium exploded. The United Iberians were champions. Leo walked toward Lamin. "Today, you were the better team." Then to Cuckoo. "And you never stopped running." The wolf smiled. "We couldn't let football lose." Even the tiger lowered his head in respect. As the Iberians lifted the eternal Forest Cup, an old elephant said, "Controversial victories fade with time, but when a team wins through its football, the story lives forever." The end.